Any Christian who spends more than 5 seconds talking to Muslims online will be asked, how can you believe that 1 plus 1 plus 1 equals 1? 1 plus 1 plus 1 equals 1 is by far the most common Muslim objection to the doctrine of the Trinity. But if you're adding up things in the real world, you need to include units. And the units need to be the same on both sides of the equal sign. If you take 1,000 blocks and use them to build one house, you wouldn't say that 1 plus 1 plus 1 all the way up to 1,000 equals 1, even though the 1,000 blocks do make one house. If the units you're adding are blocks, you can't change the units to house in the answer and then pretend that 1,000 equals 1. Consider a few simple examples of what happens when you don't clarify which units you're using. According to Islam, Allah has literal body parts. A literal shin, a face, a foot, 2 right hands, and so on. How many incomprehensible but literal body parts does Allah have? Let's say it's 10. Allah is one in one way, but more than one in another way. Following the method that Muslims use then, 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 equals 1. What about the Quran? There are 114 surahs in Quran. 114 surahs, 1 Quran. So, 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 equals 1, according to Islam. Let's think about this. Is Surah 1 identical to Surah 2? Is Surah 2 identical to Surah 3? Surah 1 is distinct from Surah 2, isn't it? And yet, their nature is the same, because they're all the Quran. In Sahih Muslim, 1874, Muhammad tells his followers, recite the Quran, for it will come on the day of resurrection, interceding for its companions. So, the Quran as a whole intercedes, but individual surahs also intercede. They speak, they intercede, they plead. According to Muhammad, there are 114 personal agents in the Quran. But the Quran appears as a single pale man, a single personal agent. 114 persons in a single pale man? 114 equals 1 in Islam. Now, let me ask all my Muslim friends out there, what was your objection to the mathematics of the Trinity? If you insist that the doctrine of the Trinity must be rejected because it leads to mathematical absurdities, well then, we have no choice but to reject your God, your prophet, and your book for producing so many mathematical absurdities. Tell me, why is it that the absolute dumbest objections to Christianity, 1 plus 1 plus 1 equals 1, become the most popular Muslim objections to Christianity? It's because your scholars and apologists don't want you thinking about the unmistakable differences between Jesus and Muhammad, so they fill your heads with laughably stupid objections to Christianity to keep you distracted.